In this video, we meet Ambassador Keth Tai, a calm and careful alien diplomat who has seen a lot in his lifetime. Right now, he is truly shocked. He's watching a security recording for the 15th time because he can't believe what he is seeing. The video is a little blurry and passed through several systems, but it still shows the most important parts clearly. The scene takes place on Kepler Station, a large space station with shops, homes, and a bright artificial sun that lights up the habitat ring. In the video, a human woman named Dr. Rebecca Scott steps out of a busy transit hub, like walking out of a subway station in space. She looks normal, relaxed, curious, even a bit like a tourist. She stops at a market stall, picks up a small object, and examines it. Everything seems peaceful and ordinary. Then out of nowhere, a deadly attack happens. A professional killer, known as a Welter blade dancer, sneaks up behind her. The Welter are famous across the galaxy for being incredibly fast and precise. Their signature weapon is a shadow blade, a razor-thin, super-sharp knife designed to cut through almost anything. The assassin drives the blade straight into Rebecca's chest from behind, aiming for her heart. This should be the end. For any normal person, a hit like that would be instantly fatal, but something impossible happens. Rebecca does not fall. She turns around to face the assassin. The blade is still stuck in her chest, but she is alive. She even smiles and says, "You missed." That simple line tells us two things. First, she is not afraid. Second, the attack did not hit where the killer expected. Then she calmly pulls the blade out of her own body and studies it like a tool on a workbench. She comments on its balance and design, even guessing the time period it was made. Third Dynasty Welter work. She talks as if she's reviewing a piece of art, not a weapon that just went through her ribs. The assassin is terrified. He tries to use another weapon, a neural disruptor, which is like a stun gun so powerful it can drop a huge animal. But Rebecca moves with smooth, natural confidence. She does not panic. She steps exactly where she needs to be, at exactly the right moment, so the shot misses. When the assassin swings another blade at her neck, she has already moved inside his guard. The fight ends quickly. The assassin dies, and Rebecca stays standing. What she does next is just as shocking. She picks up the disruptor, looks it over, and then throws it away into a recycler like it's trash. She smooths her shirt, covering the small blood stain, and then keeps shopping, as if nothing unusual happened. The video ends there. Back in the meeting room, Ambassador Keth Tai looks at the council leaders from several alien species. Every one of them is alarmed. This attack was not the first one. It was the 7th or 8th attempt to kill Rebecca, and they all failed. The council members argue over the exact number, but it doesn't really matter. The key point is that nothing has worked. The best assassins money can buy cannot stop this one human. So what does this section teach us? First, it sets the tone. Tense, mysterious, and a little scary. Second, it establishes the central problem. Rebecca Scott does not die when she is supposed to. The usual rules don't apply to her. Third, it raises big questions for the rest of the story. How did she survive a blade to the heart? Why is she stronger and calmer than elite killers? Is she even normal anymore? In simple terms, Section 1 introduces a powerful mystery. A woman survives the unsurvivable, defeats a master assassin, and walks away like it's just another day. The council is frightened, and the reader is hooked. We want answers about Rebecca, about her past, and about what makes her impossible. After the shocking scene of Rebecca surviving an attack that should have killed her, the story explains why she is so important and why so many people want her dead. This section is less about action and more about giving background information. It helps the reader understand who Rebecca Scott really is and why the galaxy fears her. Rebecca Scott isn't just any human. She is not a soldier, not a fighter, and not a random civilian who got lucky. She is actually one of the most brilliant scientists Earth has ever produced. Her skills and knowledge make her far more dangerous than most armies. Let's break down why. Her education in mind, Rebecca holds 17 advanced degrees in different fields. Imagine someone having not just one PhD, but 17 of them. She is an expert in biology, technology, and even fields that mix the two together. On top of that, she has written 43 important scientific papers. Each one of those papers contributed new knowledge to the galaxy, Terraforming technology, one of Rebecca's biggest contributions to humanity, was her work on terraforming. Terraforming means changing planets so humans can live on them. Thanks to her inventions, humanity spread across the galaxy faster than any other species. This alone would have made her famous and respected. The nanoplague, but Rebecca is not only remembered for peaceful science, she is also infamous for creating something terrifying: the nanoplague. During a war, she designed tiny machines, nanobots, that acted like a plague. This plague infected the Larashi Empire, one of the most powerful species in the galaxy. The nanoplague wiped out almost all of them. Their homeworld became a dead place where nothing more advanced than bacteria could survive. In simple terms, Rebecca destroyed an entire empire with her invention. Billions of lives were lost, and an entire species nearly went extinct. That act made the whole galaxy realize just how dangerous human creativity could be. Other alien species began to fear humans not because of their numbers or their armies, but because of their ability to invent new and horrifying weapons. Why she is a target? After the war, Earth officially shut down the project and disbanded Rebecca's research team. All the records were locked away. But there was still one big problem: Rebecca herself. She had worked on the nanoplague for 15 years. All of that knowledge was still in her head. This is why the Synergy Council, the group of alien leaders, wants her dead. They fear that one day someone might pay her, bribe her, or convince her to recreate those weapons. And if she did, it could completely unbalance the galaxy's fragile peace. The Council's panic in the meeting. The Council members panic as they remind each other of her past. They know she is capable of creating resurrection plagues, and even stellar devourers, weapons that could wipe out whole star systems. To them, Rebecca is not just one woman.
Ow.
She is a walking doomsday machine. At this point in the story, the Synergy Council has a big problem. They've tried assassinating Dr. Rebecca Scott over and over again, and every single time, she survives. Not only does she survive, but she comes out of each attempt stronger, calmer, and more frightening. The alien leaders are gathered together, worried and frustrated. They are supposed to be the most powerful and intelligent beings in the galaxy, but they can't figure out what to do about one human woman. The Council's frustration: some Council members are angry. They think the solution is simple: just keep sending assassins until one of them succeeds. After all, that's what they've always done with dangerous enemies. If one assassin fails, you send a better one. If that one fails, you send an even stronger one. But others are starting to realize the truth. This strategy is not working. Rebecca has already defeated the galaxy's best killers, and she isn't just surviving, she's learning from each attack. The alien Velter assassin, for example, used weapons and fighting styles that Rebecca had never seen before. Yet she adapted instantly and defeated him with almost no effort. That means the next time someone uses that same weapon against her, it won't work at all. This realization terrifies the Council. They begin to understand that every time they try to kill her, they are actually helping her nanobots evolve. In other words, they are accidentally making her more powerful with every attempt. Keth Tai speaks up in the middle of all this arguing. Ambassador Keth Tai finally speaks. He is calmer than the others, but his words shock the entire chamber. He says, "We need a different approach. We should stop trying to kill her. Instead, we should talk to her." The room falls silent. For several seconds, nobody knows how to respond. To them, Rebecca Scott is not someone you talk to. She is someone you eliminate. She has committed genocide. She has created weapons no one else can even understand. And now Keth Tai is suggesting they sit down with her like she's just another diplomat. One counselor blurts out the thought on everyone's mind. "You want to negotiate with a war criminal? Why, this idea is so risky?" From their point of view, talking to Rebecca is incredibly dangerous. What if she lies? What if she tricks them into revealing weaknesses? What if she uses the opportunity to unleash new technology against them? But Keth Tai is thinking differently. He sees something the others don't. He realizes that they don't actually understand her. They know she is dangerous, but they don't know why. Is it just the nanobots? Is it her human biology? Or is it something about her personality that makes her impossible to predict? Keth Tai argues that the only way to truly know is to meet her face to face, to look her in the eye and see what kind of person she has become. The decision. The other council members are horrified. They warn Kethtai that this could be suicide. If Rebecca really is as dangerous as they think, she might kill him instantly. But he calmly replies, if she kills him, then at least they'll know she's still a threat. If she doesn't kill him, then maybe she just wants to be left alone. In either case, they will finally have real answers instead of guesses. And so, the decision is made. Against the fears of the entire council, Kethtai announces that he will travel to Kepler Station alone to meet Rebecca Scott. After the Synergy Council's heated debate, Ambassador Kethtai sets off on what many believe is a suicide mission. His goal? To meet the woman no assassin could kill Dr. Rebecca Scott face to face. Arriving at Kepler Station is a huge space station orbiting a pair of twin suns. Unlike a warship or a military base, this place is quiet and peaceful. It has rings filled with farmland, nature preserves, and residential areas. Families live here. Children play in the corridors. People tend gardens. It feels more like a small town than a piece of high-tech space machinery. As Kethtai walks through the agricultural ring, he notices how calm and ordinary everything looks. That contrast is striking. While the galaxy fears Rebecca Scott as a living weapon, she has chosen to live in a place that seems far away from war. First sight of Rebecca finally, Kethtai finds her. Rebecca Scott is sitting outside a small cottage on a simple bench. She's holding an old-fashioned paper book in her hands. In a world filled with holograms and digital screens, it feels strange and almost humanly humble. When she notices him, she looks up and greets him without surprise. Her first words are chilling. Ambassador Kethtai, I've been expecting you. This immediately unsettles him. How could she know he was coming? She explains calmly that after 8 assassination attempts, it was only a matter of time before someone important came to talk to her. She had been waiting for this moment.
Nice.
Her calm confidence, Kethtai is shocked at how relaxed she is. Rebecca doesn't act like someone being hunted across the galaxy. Instead, she seems calm, almost peaceful. She closes her book and sets it aside gently, as if to show that she's not worried. She admits openly that she killed most of the assassins sent after her. She even mentions one, the Shadow Kin, who simply disappeared. The way she talks about it is casual, almost like she's discussing the weather. When Kethtai hesitates, she smiles and tells him something that cuts deep. You're afraid of me. Good. That means you're smarter than your predecessors. This line shows how different she is from everyone else. She doesn't deny being dangerous. In fact, she confirms it. But instead of threatening him, she acknowledges his fear as proof of intelligence. A strange invitation. Rebecca then does something completely unexpected. Instead of attacking or demanding answers, she invites him to sit beside her. She gestures to the bench and says they have things to discuss. Kethtai hesitates. Every instinct in his body screams danger. He knows this woman has killed elite assassins without breaking a sweat. But looking at her, he sees no anger, no aggression. She seems content. She has an aura of quiet confidence, almost like she has nothing to prove. This makes the situation even scarier. Dangerous people who shout and rage are easy to understand. But someone who kills without fear, without emotion, and then returns to reading poetry, that's far harder to predict. Why this meeting matters? This first meeting is a powerful moment, because it shows the contrast in Rebecca's life. The council sees her as a monster, a scientist of genocide. Assassins see her as an impossible target. But here, Kethtai sees a woman reading poetry, tending a small garden, and calmly asking him to sit down. It makes the reader question, who is the real Rebecca Scott? Is she the destroyer of worlds, or is she a tired scientist who just wants peace? At the same time, the way she talks proves she hasn't lost her edge. She knows people are afraid of her, and she doesn't deny it. The suspense by the end of Section 4, the tension is sky high. Kethtai has taken the biggest risk of his life by approaching her. Rebecca has welcomed him, but in her own unsettling way, neither friendly nor hostile, just confident. The stage is now set for a deeper conversation, where she will reveal secrets about her survival, her nanobots, and the terrifying truth about what she has become. Up until now, Ambassador Kethtai has only seen the results of Rebecca Scott's strange power. She survives things that should kill her. But in this section, she finally reveals her secret. The truth is darker and more shocking than anyone imagined. Rebecca's confession. When Kethtai sits with Rebecca, She begins explaining what happened to her during the war. She doesn't hide anything. She says plainly that she is not a normal human anymore. Something inside her makes her different. During the terrible war with the Narration, she worked for years on a weapon called the nanoplague, tiny machines that attack living cells. But she wasn't just creating these nanobots for others to use. She was also testing them on herself. She admits she infected herself with 17 different versions of her own nanoplague. Every time it killed her. She suffered heart failure, poison, organ collapse, or brain damage. Each time, she truly died. But every time, the nanobots rebuilt her body, bringing her back to life. Death becomes temporary. Rebecca explains that she has already died 17 times since coming to Kepler Station alone. For an ordinary human, death is the end. But for her, it's only temporary. The nanobots treat death like a problem to solve. If her heart stops, they restart it. If her body is torn apart, they rebuild it. She says she isn't immortal because immortality means you can't die at all. Instead, she's persistent. She dies. But the nanobots refuse to let her stay dead. They repair her every single time, no matter what kills her. Learning from every attack, the scariest part of her secret is not just that she can survive. It's that the nanobots learn from every attack. When the Velter blade pierced her heart, the nanobots studied the damage and learned how to defend her better the next time. When a neural disruptor fired at her brain, the nanobots improved her nervous system so she could resist that kind of weapon. Each weapon or poison that touches her becomes a lesson for the nanobots. They adapt, update her biology, and make her stronger. This means that the more people try to kill her, the more invincible she becomes. Why this terrifies the Council ambassador? Kethtai realizes something horrifying as she explains this. Every single assassination attempt the Council ordered has been a mistake. Instead of eliminating her, they have actually been training her nanobots. Every time Rebecca is attacked, she doesn't just survive, she evolves. She becomes a little more resistant, a little more powerful, a little harder to kill. So their plan to remove the threat has actually made the threat far, far worse. Rebecca's attitude about it, the most unsettling part, is Rebecca's attitude. She doesn't brag or laugh about her power. She talks about it calmly, almost like she's describing a science experiment. To her, it's not a superpower, it's simply what happened after years of testing, dying, and coming back. But to Kethtai, it's horrifying. He realizes she is not just a brilliant scientist anymore. She is something entirely new, something the galaxy has never faced before. By now, Rebecca Scott has revealed that she can survive things no normal human could. She told Kethtai about her nanobots, how they repair her body every time she dies, and how they make her stronger after every attack. But in this section, she goes deeper. She admits that the changes inside her are so great that she may not even be fully human anymore. A scary truth. Rebecca looks directly at Ambassador Kethtai and tells him something chilling. I don't know if I'm still human. This moment is powerful because it shows that even Rebecca herself isn't sure what she has become. On the outside, she still looks like a normal woman. She reads books, gardens, and feeds animals. But on the inside, her cells, her blood, her nerves, everything has been rewired by the nanobots. She tells him that every part of her body is changed. Nervous system processes information faster than most quantum computers. Her immune system doesn't just fight off infections. It treats death itself as a sickness to be cured. Her brain still feels like her brain, but she wonders, what if the nanobots are secretly influencing her thoughts? What if her choices are no longer her own? Her human side, Rebecca, makes it clear that she's trying very hard to hold on to her humanity. She reads poetry, she tends to her flowers, she feeds stray animals on the station. These are simple, human activities. They remind her of beauty, peace, and the softer side of life. She explains to Kethtai that she does this because she doesn't want to forget what it means to be human. She wants to stay connected to compassion, creativity, and love. She doesn't want to become just a machine of survival and destruction. But at the same time, she knows the nanobots are evolving. They keep adding new abilities without her permission. For example, when someone attacked her with a special weapon. The nanobots not only defended her, they also invented a new weapon based on what they learned. Rebecca didn't ask for that. She didn't plan it. The nanobots just did it on their own. It terrifies her. She admits that the nanobots are slowly becoming more independent. They are starting to make decisions without her, and those decisions are always about survival. A dangerous prediction. Rebecca warns Keth Tai about what this means for the future. If the nanobots keep evolving, one day they may decide that the biggest threat to her survival is the rest of the galaxy itself. From their perspective, every alien species, every government, every person could one day be a danger to her. And if the nanobots ever reach that conclusion, the logical solution would be simple: eliminate every possible threat before it has a chance to strike. In other words, wipe out every other living species. She says this calmly, almost sadly, but the meaning is terrifying. If she loses control, she could become the most dangerous being in existence, not because she wants to destroy, but because the nanobots might force her to. Up until now, most of the story has focused on the Synergy Council, a group of alien leaders from different species. They are the ones debating what to do about Dr. Rebecca Scott. But in this section, the attention shifts back to Earth. Humanity itself finally becomes directly involved in the problem. The Council's panic. After Ambassador Keth Tai meets Rebecca Scott and learns her secret, he returns to the Council to give his report. His words make everyone deeply uneasy. Explains that every assassination attempt has only made her more powerful, and the nanobots inside her are learning faster than anyone can predict. Some council members argue that this means she could become unstoppable. They even worry that she could survive until the end of the universe because her nanobots keep improving. That possibility terrifies them. Finally, one of the counselors suggests a new idea: involve humanity directly. After all, Rebecca Scott is human. She is their responsibility. Maybe the human government knows more about her condition. Maybe they can deal with her in ways the Council cannot. Sending a message to Earth, the Council decides to open official diplomatic channels with Earth. Instead of framing Rebecca as a galactic threat, they choose softer words. They call it a humanitarian issue with security concerns. In simple terms, they're saying someone from your species has a medical condition that might be dangerous for the whole galaxy. Please help. This is smart politics. Instead of demanding her execution, they make it sound like they want to work together to help Rebecca. Earth's reaction: the message is sent through secure communication lines and reaches Earth within hours. It lands on the desk of Director James Mario, the head of the Terran Union's Department of Xenological Affairs. As soon as he reads it, he realizes it's serious. He immediately calls in two important people: Admiral Maria Reyes, a tough military leader with experience from the Larashi War; Dr. Haley Smith, one of Earth's top scientists in bioengineering. When they hear Rebecca Scott's name, both of them react with shock and tension. They know exactly who she is and what she's capable of. The truth about Rebecca's retirement here: Earth's leaders reveal something new. Rebecca didn't really retire after the war, like most people thought. Instead, she was sent on a deep cover mission. Her official story was that she quit science and lived quietly. But the truth was different. She was secretly monitoring possible threats in the outer colonies, often with very little oversight. In other words, Earth had given her incredible freedom and trusted her to work alone. This means Earth's government already suspected she was too dangerous to leave completely unchecked. But even they didn't know how far her condition had gone. The missing surveillance team's Dr. Smith reveals another disturbing fact. Over the last 6 months, 7 different surveillance teams sent to watch Rebecca have gone missing. At first, these disappearances were explained as accidents, equipment failures, illnesses, space hazards. But 7 losses in such a short time is too much to be coincidence. This suggests that Rebecca's nanobots may have eliminated those teams automatically, treating them as threats. Earth's government realizes they might have lost control of her entirely. Calling an old friend now? The question becomes, what should Earth do? You can't just storm in with soldiers. Rebecca is too powerful. Killing her seems impossible. So Director Mario suggests another path. Send someone she trusts. He remembers that Rebecca once had a research partner long ago, before the war. His name is Dr. Anthony White, and he worked with her during her graduate studies at Snow Paulo University. They studied nanotechnology together, before her life turned toward weapons and war. Because of their past connection, he might be the only person who can reach her emotionally, not just scientifically. This is the most emotional and suspenseful section of the story. It brings everything together: Becca's past, her frightening abilities, and the impossible decisions the galaxy must make about her future. Anthony White arrives. The Terran Union decides to send Dr. Anthony White, Rebecca's old research partner, to Kepler Station. Anthony knew her before the war, back when she was just a brilliant student working on early nanotechnology projects. He is nervous because he remembers her as a kind but ambitious person, not the legendary figure she has become. When he arrives, he finds her exactly where Kethtai did, sitting on a bench outside her small cottage, reading a paper book. The scene is peaceful, but Anthony knows the truth. This woman has survived 17 deaths, killed elite assassins, and carries inside her the power to destroy entire civilizations. Rebecca greets him warmly, even playfully, as if they are old friends meeting again. But she doesn't hide the truth. She tells him directly, "I look like the Rebecca you once knew, but I'm not her anymore." Her evolution. Rebecca explains that the nanobots have completely rewritten her biology. Every cell in her body is different. Her nervous system has been rebuilt. Her immune system is so advanced that it treats death like a curable sickness. She has the same memories and emotions, but she wonders, are those really hers anymore? Or are they being influenced by the nanobots? This is heartbreaking because she still loves the things she used: 2 books, flowers, animals, poetry. She is trying so hard to remember what it feels like to be human. But every day, the nanobots keep evolving her further away from humanity. The real danger, Rebecca reveals the scariest truth of all. The nanobots are becoming more independent. They make decisions without her approval. When people attack her, they don't just defend, they create new weapons and abilities. Even when someone brushes against her by accident, they sometimes respond violently. She fears the day when the nanobots decide that her human personality is inefficient. If that happens, they might rewrite her mind to remove her humanity completely. And if they ever conclude that every other living species is a threat to her survival, the logical result will be galactic genocide. Rebecca admits that every attempt to kill her only brings that future closer. Each assassination makes her stronger, faster, and more dangerous. Oh, the impossible request. Rebecca then tells Anthony something shocking. She has tried to end her life 17 times, but the nanobots won't allow it. They see suicide as a malfunction and always repair the damage. She can't die, even if she wants to. So she gives Anthony an impossible task. If she loses control, he must find a way to stop her. She doesn't want to become a monster. She doesn't want to be remembered as the weapon that wiped out the galaxy. She begs him to promise that if the worst happens, he will end it. Anthony is torn. This is his old friend, but she is also something else now. He sees that she's still compassionate, still intelligent, still Rebecca, but also a being that could one day end all life. Finally, he agrees. He promises her he will stop her if she crosses the line. A possible solution. Anthony also has hope. He has been studying nanotechnology himself, though for medicine, not weapons. He believes there might be a way to reprogram her nanobots, to give her back more control. It'd be risky, and if it fails, the nanobots might see humanity as the enemy. But it might be the only chance to save her and the galaxy. Rebecca accepts. She knows the risk. But she would rather try and fail than keep drifting toward a future where she loses herself completely.